Hey y'all, I'm Sandra Struble. I'll be your instructor for the summer course for Algebra Fundamentals. This is asynchronous. However, I am here to support you. You are not on your own. You are not to self-teach yourself. That's not what I'm doing here. That's not what I do. So let's just go through some things. Please write down any questions you have along the way. So pause the video, go grab some paper and pen, or whatever it is you choose to write on, and come up with any questions you have for me from what I'm discussing in this video. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email so that I can clarify anything that you're still questioning, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So in the class, I'm currently in the Brightspace course as a student, so you can see exactly the same thing I do. We've only got 6 discussions, but we'll get to that here in just a moment because I just saw the discussions pop up. You're going to go and start with the welcome start here. And when you do that, you'll see there's a Welcome to Algebra Fundamentals page, Brightspace Essentials. If you've never utilized Brightspace before, please go through these. There's Meet the Instructor. That's me. It tells you that I'm an adjunct professor and I've been working at JCC since 2018. Here's the important pieces. You need to be able to use my email. Please do not message me from Brightspace. I know that Brightspace has this messaging thing. It's not fun. The only way I can message you back is that I have to go into Brightspace, which is hard to do if I'm traveling. So if you would please, instead of doing that, don't go in and shoot me an email utilizing my email. I can respond to that much faster. You'll get a much faster reply. The other thing is I am not in my office in the summertime, rarely. So please utilize my cell phone number. It is my student cell phone number that I utilize only for students. You can text me. You can leave me a voicemail. It is a Google number, so please don't freak out because it doesn't sound like a regular number. I'm not usually in my office unless you are a local Jamestown person that can meet up there and want to get proctored or have tutoring sessions. I can do that. Otherwise, you're going to meet me on Zoom. So if you have any time that you want to be tutored, proctored, anything like that, it's going to happen at this Zoom link. So anytime we meet up on Zoom, this is the link. It's offered in other locations as well. Please also send me an appointment to meet up with Zoom. I'm just not on Zoom all the time. All right. Communications, please feel free to call me Sandra. We're all adults here, and that's what I prefer to go by. I am she, her. Yep. I told you that. Just give me 24 hours to respond, especially if I happen to be traveling or something. If it's weekends, it might be longer. Sometimes I go camping and it's not the best service. So weekends definitely give me 48 hours, but I will do my darndest. I do check emails and messages every day. So I will usually respond within 24 hours. All right. The next thing I wanted to talk about on the welcome start here is the instructor syllabus. So before I go through that, let's scroll down real quick here. See this institutional course syllabus? I'm going to tell you something that you're going to want to know for all of your college classes. Always save this document to a permanent file somewhere on your computer or wherever you keep files. If you print them, whatever, something you're going to keep the rest of your life, basically. I've got all of mine that I did because the classes that you take aren't always offered. We change classes all the time. We used to not have a Math 550. We had a Math 500 and Math 600. So if you don't have the institutional course syllabus and you transfer to a different college, they're not going to know what this is if it's years down the road. Granted, this is not a credit-bearing course, but you please utilize that information for courses after this. Okay, always save your institutional course syllabus. It proves what was covered in the class. There's another link to my office Zoom where we can meet up. Then there's also an online textbook, videos, and calculator resources. All right, did that. Now let's go over the institutional course syllabus. So with this, it tells you the course CRN, the course number, what we're going to cover, who I am, how to reach out to me, Always use your SUNY JCC email so that it doesn't go to spam, hopefully. Sometimes it may. Please do not use the Brightspace messaging tool. It just takes me a lot longer to respond. Here's my cell phone number. I check everything daily. We're going to use Mom. So we're going to use My Open Math. I call her Mom for your homework. It's free. I'm going to go over how to get set up on that. Some of you already have, which is fantastic. Hardware requirements, please make sure that you have a reliable computer as well as laptop computer, whatever you choose to use for this course, as well as Wi-Fi. If you find you struggle with internet, I can tell you right now, lots of libraries have access to, you can get free Wi-Fi. You can also usually just sit outside of libraries. So it happens to be closed. You can usually tap into their Wi-Fi externally by being on the outside of the building as well. Calculators. Now, this calculator I always recommend because you'll use it not just in this course, but in whatever course you choose to take next. You will not need a graphing calculator for, whether it be statistics or the college algebra trig that I teach as well. The TI-30X2S is by far the best one that you can use on its own. All right, looks like we're gonna have 5 exams plus a final. That is 70% of your grade. Your homework in My Open Math is 20%. We've got some checkpoints that are 5% of your grade, and discussions are 5%. So let's talk about Mom. Let's talk about My Open Math. I gave you the link of where to access that. So I've got it populated right here. You're going to register as a new student if you've never used Mom before. So register as a new student, choose your username, your password, and confirm your password. Then enter your first and last name, your email address. It's always best just to use your JCC email address so that you know which email to utilize. And then you'll have to click that you're 13 years or older and you've read the terms and conditions. I gave you a course ID and enrollment key in our syllabus. And it is right here. The course ID is 322611. The enrollment key is I love math, all caps, no spaces. And that's what you're going to use to log in and sign up. When you sign up, it's going to bring you directly to our class. Please, if you lose your password, just shoot me an email. I can reset it. Do not register as a new student again. Please, I beg of you, do not do that because it just makes it to where your grades are not associated with you anymore, and it makes it more difficult for me whenever I try to input grades. So if we go into our class, this is summer. All right. Let's go in where is a student. So you've got an intro to My Open Math. Classes start tomorrow on Wednesday. Then on Friday, you've got your intro to My Open Math is due. And then we have our first assignment is due, quote unquote assignment that's going to be associated with your grades on the 26th on Tuesday, followed by another one on that Saturday. And then we've got an exam. We've got our first exam after the first 2 sections. I've got it broken down into many exams to make the exams easier for you because it doesn't cover as much material. I have found that that helps students a lot. Please don't freak out that you've got a lot of exams. That's actually a better situation for you, I promise. I'm not trying to punish at all. All right, you can access things both you can show as many weeks as you want. All right, and you can see everything that's happening. We can extend that a little bit further. Pardon me. All the way to your final exam. You can also hit show all, and it shows everything here, what to do and when. I prefer to use the calendar on My Open Math as opposed to the calendar in Brightspace. I hate the calendar in Brightspace, but please utilize the one in Mom. All right, you can also come down here and access all the homework pieces as well. All right, so that is it for that piece. Let's go into our first, let's go into foundations. So it shows you when it's due. It shows you it's 11:59 at night. We're going to start this. And I've got my first question here. Great. Let's just say you need to know how many times you get a chance to practice this. And you get 3 times for each problem to get this right. There are 100 total similar questions that you can use. This is your practice for your exam. All right. If you go in and you use Google or an AI or something to get all these answers, you're not practicing for your exam and you're not going to do well on my exams. This is your practice. Once you get this problem correct, okay, it's right forever. It will never, even if you leave it wrong on a sequential problem, it's not going to count against you. All right, so let's just say that we get this wrong. All right, submit question. Oh, no, it's wrong. Let's do another one. Oh, it's wrong. Okay, I don't have to submit this one. I can just be frustrated and jump to an answer. Okay, it's going to use up the last of them. That's fine. But now I can go look to see what the correct answer is with this little answer key. There's the answer. That's what they're looking for. Sometimes you don't know what my open math, what mom is looking for an answer. Use the jump to the answer key because then you still can get 99 similar questions, gives you a chance to get it right. All right. So now that I know what she's looking for, I can see the question, see the answer, make sense of how they got to that answer. If you don't understand how they got to that answer, here's what you do. You do not go to your email and email me. No, you come down here and you hit message instructor. It's going to populate the exact question you're looking at. And you're going to be like, Sandra, I don't understand, or I don't know how they got, or how mom got 13/4 for the first question. You do not send me a separate message. You type directly into the one that has the problem so I can see the exact problem. Hit send message and I'll get it. And I will respond and show you where that comes to. So I was in my foundations. Whenever you want to see where see this little messages here, you'll get a parenthesis with a 1 or however many messages that I've messaged you back. So you'll see that you have messages. All right. You'll probably also get an email that announces that you have a message in mom. So there's that. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, let's go back into our question. After you've messaged me, but this is only if you don't understand how they got that answer. All right. If you do understand how to get from the problem to the answer, now's your chance to get a similar question with no penalties. There's no penalties unless you don't ever get this question right for the due date. Okay. So if you don't get it right, or once you get it right, the rest of these times of getting similar questions is just your practice. And now I've got 98 more times to practice this for the exam. This is your practice. Please utilize this. All right. What else do I want to cover for this? I think that's it. Let's go back to our syllabus. Oh, late pass. So let's go down here. You can use a late pass, which gives you an extra 48 hours extension for your homework. So if you realize, oh no, I forgot to do my homework, you can use a late pass. I can't do it because I'm the instructor, but you can use a late pass to extend the homework by another 2 days, 48 hours. It is with penalty of 25%, but only for the things that you do during the late pass period. Anything prior to the due date, there is no penalty until after the due date and you're in the late pass period, you will have a 25% penalty. All right. Do not email me about mom questions. Please use message the instructor link. I beg of you, it will make both of our lives easier. Discussions to create a sense of community. You're going to participate in 6 forums, 6 discussions. You'll watch a short video or you'll read a prompt, and then you're going to write a 1 to 2 paragraph response. And then you need to reply to at least one peer. So just to start the conversation of getting to know each other. All right. The first one will be to discuss, to announce who you are, a little bit about what your thoughts are as far as for this class and any struggles that you foresee. Okay. Oh gosh, I didn't realize that this was over here. Oh, there we go. All right. Checkpoints, think of these as low stakes mini exams. These are to test what you know and what you don't know so that I can help you prepare for the exam. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post the checkpoint, and then you're going to turn in your written work. I do not want it typed. I want written work. And then I'm going to release my answers. Of me having written the work so that you can see it. If there's something that you do not understand that I did for the problem, we need to talk. Let's meet on Zoom so we can go over it. All right. Exams and proctoring. You're going to have 5 unit exams and a final. All exams must be proctored either by me or by someone such as a librarian, a teacher, or a testing center staff. Do not ever pay to be proctored. There are plenty of places that you can go. You may not use family or friends to be your proctors. That doesn't work. Their email must end in a .edu or .org, or I must be able to verify where they work and their position. You should be looking for a proctor now, right now. If you're in the Jamestown area, I will be your proctor, period. I do not expect you to find anyone else. But if you're outside the Jamestown area or can't make it to the Jamestown campus, then you must find a proctor. Discuss with me if you're having any issues with doing that. Support systems, we have Starfish that we'll be utilizing. If you need extended time for your exams, then you need to reach out to Don Poole. Here's his number to make sure you get that documentation in place so that I can take care of what you need. Academic integrity. If you choose to use AI Chegg for your checkpoints or exams, it is strictly prohibited. I will definitely be able to tell if you're using such because they do certain things that typical students don't. If you choose to use it for my open math, then you're not going to do well on my exams. So I can't keep you from doing it. So just good luck. Utilize me if you need some help. Time commitment. Please understand this class is going to take probably around 10 hours a week for you to do. Online learning requires you to set up a schedule. If you struggle with doing that, I'm going to highly recommend that you let me know so that I can get you in touch with Janelle at the Learning Center, and she can meet up with you to go over how to set up studying for this class and ensuring that you're successful in this class. We do have supports in place to help you do that. And then the last thing here is civility. Please make sure that you understand that we're all adults. There's no need to be disgruntled or upset, if anything, at yourself, but please do not be so at us. We're all here to do the best we can to support you and to help you get through this course. Okay. If you have any further questions, please shoot me an email or a text and let me know. I'm happy to help.